Recorded. So we are day 5 of the Breaking Free from Drama Challenge. So what is currently happening in the main house right now is we have scorpion sealers that have come in to, seal up our house. And it's really interesting. This guy was just like, he's about 7 feet tall. So imagine me looking up at him and he talks faster than I do. Imagine that. About scorpions. So now I know more about scorpions than I ever desired to know about scorpions. However, it's really interesting because he was saying, when you have an issue, and he didn't realize what he was saying, but I was like, you sound like me. When you have an issue, when you have a problem, now it's with scorpions, right? When you have an issue or you have a problem, you don't want to start from the outside in, you want to start from the inside out. So that's why today they're coming around and sealing every little crevice, every light plug, every, capping of lights. I mean, they're sealing every nook and cranny that a scorpion can drop from, right? So it's what we do here, right? We're just sealing up those places where the cracks of those biting, stinging, scorpions could get in, right? Or those places where we have hurts or resentments, or those places that we're playing into the drama triangle, like either playing the victim or the rescuer or the persecutor, especially the persecutor that's so biting and, so we got to treat from the inside out. Instead of trying to go change that relationship or work harder to make that money or, do all the action outside to fix something, that's the drama, the drama triangle way. If you change or if that changes, then I'll be happy. We try to go from the outside in when it's really about coming from the inside out. And I just thought, wow. Even prehistoric, little creatures like a scorpion it works with. So I'm going to just take a couple of minutes. Beth, thank you always for bringing me or giving me some of the questions. And instead of going into the energy vortex and writing it, since we have a bit of time, I always like to answer the questions here because I can get more out. And it's much more easier to feel emotions and kind of hear and feel energy when I'm actually speaking it. So that's why I love the questions and I love being able to be live with all of you to answer them. So Marie said, the emotions of the triangle are so easy to fall into. I expect as humans, it's part of our makeup. Is it that we are conditioned to behave in this way? I think I answered that yesterday. So go ahead and listen to yesterday's, because yes, when we are in, she went on to say, I clearly see that I fall into these roles when there's drama with family, friends, and situations. Yes, when we are, and that's what we're going to talk about today, when we're not getting what we want. That's what the day 5 video is all about. When we're not having what we want in any given situation, relationship, experience, we then tend to go into the lack of it. Our focus goes on the contrast of it. And if we stay focused on the contrast and then we resist that contrast, that's when we get into the drama triangle, the perspective about being in lack and limitation, not having something, being absent with it, being in a space where we don't feel good. Remember, we're going to talk about this in the quantum light shift today at 10 o'clock. So in a couple of hours, 2 hours from now, that if there's one emotion, there is in this land of polarity that all of us live in, there is the equal and opposite emotion. So we have the law of polarity. If there's up, there's down. If there's in, there's out. If there's left, there's right, right? If there's hot, there's cold. If there's, there's a lot of other, right? If there's fear, there's love. If there's lack, there's abundance. If there's loneliness, there's connection or contentment, or whatever is the opposite of that emotion. If we're focused on the not enough or the absence of what we want, the opportunity and the potential, which is also the law of pure potentiality, the potential for that other experience is also there. And so it's combining both of them and finding that balance and seeing that space. But if we're in that drama, not getting what we want, then we tend to go into the drama triangle. So a couple of other questions. Hello, everybody. Nice to see everybody. Day 5 of the Breaking Free From Challenge. Loving being here with all of you every morning. If you enjoy this little quick just tip every morning, you'll love the meditations that we have coming up in August. It's like a nice check-in, a shift of energy. So lots coming up. Another question was, in the example that Christy shared about her mom saying that she's right, and Christy and her dad looking at the map, verifying otherwise, what to do. What do we do when we actually know in truth or not do? Let go of wanting to support the other and seeing the truth. I think my question comes because this example is not a matter of opinion. So thank you for that question, Sandra. Yes, when it's black and white and you're like, look, this says this is right. Like, this is the facts, just the facts, ma'am, right? When this says this is the facts and the other person is not seeing that, or like in my mom's case, when she was like, the map is wrong, right? We have given proof that she was wrong, right? At that point, my dad and I just looked at each other and it's like, we know. So let her think she's right. I mean, that from that moment on in my relationship with my mom and with my dad, we have brought that up so many times to her, where no, you're wrong. I am right. She has to. It's a need for her because there's something wired in her that if she's wrong, she's bad. It's a perfection thing. It's a first book I wrote, Perfect Pictures, right? She has to be right, or if she's wrong, which is the opposite, then that means she's bad, that she's lacking something. And so her self-esteem really just hinges on her knowing it all, being right all the time. And even when I know she's mistaken about something, or maybe she has an opinion, her opinion is this. And I remember when I was in high school, I said to her, I go, well, Mom, I don't remember what the feeling was. Mom, I feel this way. And she goes, well, you're wrong. And I said, Mom, feelings can't be wrong. They're my feelings. And she goes, well, you're an idiot. I mean, literally said that. Well, then you're an idiot. So stuck on I'm not justified in feeling the way I'm feeling because she feels that I should, there's that word again, I should be feeling this way. And if I'm feeling this way, I'm wrong. And when I was saying to her, Mom, it's how I feel. Feelings are just feelings. They're not right or wrong. Well, you're an idiot, right? So I could keep pushing up against her. She's not budging. That's the way she is. She still is to this day. And so I could either keep pushing up against her, or like what this video is all about, and this day is all about, is turning my attention and focus onto something else, finding compassion that I have a mom that's unwavering and thinks she's right and isn't willing to listen to me, or willing to consider feelings, or, doesn't have awareness in that area. Compassion for myself and compassion for her once I can muster it up, because she's lost friends because of that. She can't be very close to her daughter because of that. She alienates her husband because of that. And so all of her relationships, that's her. I don't have to go rescue her and try to get her to change, because then I'm stuck in the drama triangle with her. So someone that is so right, and I think even that, whether it's a fact or an opinion or a feeling or whatever it is, that our pushing up against them in that contrast brings us into the drama triangle, because now I'm trying to change her. So I'm either trying to change her as the rescuer, as the persecutor, because I'm viewing her as the victim, or I'm viewing her as the persecutor, and now I am the victim. So that's where finding that neutrality within ourselves, starting with compassion, is really important. So today, hello, welcome everybody. We are at day 5 of Breaking Free from Drama. This is all about creating what we want rather than what we don't want, right? And when we are in the drama triangle, we are focused on what we don't want, how we don't want somebody else to be. It's that example I just gave of my mom being right all the time, right? If I'm focusing on how she's the problem and how she's unreasonable, or there's no talking to her, I'm focusing on the contrast. And then now all of my energy is going on the contrast, resisting that contrast. Where's the focus? It's not on what I do want. It's not on what I would like to experience. Because here's the thing, most people get caught up on, well, even if I focus on what I want with, say, my mom in this relationship. Now you could put your husband, your child, your friend, whoever is in this role. If I'm pushing up against, they're so unreasonable. How come they won't change? They need to change in order for me to be happy. If I'm pushing up against them, I'm not going to change them, because we all have free will and choice, and there's no willingness to change here. But I'm now putting myself in a state of resistance. The contrast is the contrast. My mom is my mom. My mom's not contrast, but there are experiences of relating with her that are contrasting. So here's the contrast. If I push against the contrast, now I'm out of alignment and I'm in the drama triangle with her. But if I turn my focus away from the contrast and say, okay, this one characteristic, right? This one characteristic of her needing to be right. It could be any characteristic. It could be anything that we're pushing against. Whatever the contrast is, the contrast comes in infinite ways. Whatever the contrast is the contrast. But by me changing my focus, now this contrast, meaning this particular person, this form of a relationship, she may not change. But by me focusing on what it's like to relate with someone that is allowing, and that is easy to be with, and that is fun, and that is considerate of my feelings and wants to know my opinion. Now what I'm doing is I'm opening up my sphere. I'm opening up my life, feeling empowered by focusing on what I do want. And then I can attract people to me that respect my opinion, that consider what I want, what I have to say, that want to hear what my feelings are. So go with me here. If I would have, as a kid, as a young adult, in high school, graduated, just keep focusing on my mom, she's unreasonable, always has to be right, fighting against, and then even taking that on myself, that no, I'm right, you're not right, I'm right. And then there's that power struggle. You're not right, I'm right, I'm right. I'm now doing what she's doing. It's a mirror, right? I'm fighting against her opinion. I'm doing to her what she was doing to me. You're not right, I'm right. But your feelings are wrong. Well, you're an idiot, right? That whole thing. Now I'm in resistance. And what do I then attract? I would have attracted more friends that would have had that type of resistance. I probably would be married to a man with that type of resistance. Fortunately, I was able to go, God, I don't like that. I want to be different. I want to be like my dad in this. I don't want to be like my mom. So my dad in that particular area. Now, there are other areas or aspects or characteristics where I did not want to be like my father. But in this one, my dad is very, that's an interesting perspective. Okay. Well, hey, why don't you, he would tell my mom, hey, cut the cord, like the umbilical cord, let her have her freedom, let her find her way. Thank God for my dad in that, right? So I saw from a man's perspective, I had from early programming, woman always has to be hard, always has to be wrong. I'm wrong when it comes to, there's a resistance there. But with a man figure, there's ease. I'm allowed to be, I can be creative. There's a sense of, like, we even had a joke, and we still to this day, all the maps are wrong, she's right. We're having dinner tomorrow night, something will probably come up, but she's like, no, you're wrong. All the maps are wrong. Everything that's been printed and documented, and she's the one that's right. It's now a light kind of fun, jokey kind of thing. She doesn't know. She's still stuck in her, I'm right. No, we are all wrong and I'm right. Right. But we get to have fun and flow with that. So by pivoting off of what doesn't feel good, I then move into, and now I have a husband that's exactly opposite of my mom, where I can make a mistake and apologize for it. And he's good with it. I'm forgiven. I can have a feeling. I can have a difference of opinion. I can have a different perspective. There's freedom. It's not something's right or wrong. There's movement, there's flow, there's flexibility. So when we're in the drama triangle in any of the roles, we're focused on what we don't want instead of what we do want. Think about this. When you play the victim, it's coming from the perspective that you don't have what you want. And then you feel bad, you feel disempowered, frustrated, angry, sad, whatever bad feeling, whatever feeling that doesn't feel good. And I don't mean a fleeting moment of, oh, I miss that person, or, I feel agitated right now, or, ooh, that person did something and I'm angered, right? You feel the feeling, you process it, you let it go. That's not being in the drama triangle. That's being able to process, have emotional intelligence, process our energy. It's when we're stuck there. It's like, that person angered me and I can't believe that person did that to me. And, why do people always do that to me? Why are people so rude? Why is life so hard, right? It becomes this big story, a big reaction point, like we talked about a couple of days ago. We can feel the sadness, we can feel the frustration, we can feel the irritation, process it, come back to that place of compassion, and then focus on the emotions, the feelings, focus on what you want. But when we are playing the victim, the focus is on what you don't want, what you don't have, and how bad you have it, and how bad it becomes. Not only about this moment in time, it becomes the whole life experience. Because it's in the drama triangle, it's about all or nothing. It's not just, oh, sometimes, often, like watch your words, right? It's a always, never, instead of a, well, sometimes, there's, often. I feel it's, why does this always happen to me? And it goes down this like rabbit hole of, people are mean, life sucks, people are always mean to me. Why don't things work out for me? Why is my life so hard? It's a downward spiral. As the persecutor, you're focused on judging or condemning yourself or others for not having what you want. And still, you're focused on what you do not have. And even as the rescuer, if you're not aware, if you're aware of not feeling good, or someone doesn't feel settled or filled up by themselves, the rescuer can even take on that stance of what my mom was saying, no, I am above everybody. I'm the one that's right. You all just don't know. Let me tell you how everything should be, right? Let me do everything because I know how to do it better than anybody else, right? So if they're coming from that, there's something missing, or they see someone else, the other person, I'm the mom and my son is not getting what they want. Oh, I better go provide it for him and rescue him. So it's even just the observation of not only us not feeling good and not having what we want, but other people. They don't have what they want. So let me go try to be their source. Let me take away their pain. They're not getting what they want. So let me give it to them. Remember yesterday we talked about the language or watching your words. And then you can use the power of choice and speak and then think about what you do want, because you always have options. You always have choices. Each one of us has free will. So when you're in the drama triangle, you don't have options, choices, and you definitely don't feel free. By the way, we have the Feeling Free Quantum Light Shift today, a couple hours, right? Which includes it's included in this Ascended membership of the Energy Vortex. So for those of you that are in Ascended, I'll see you in a couple hours. But the thing that we always have the power is with our own consciousness, words, thoughts, perspectives, emotions, actions. And think of the contrast as the evidence of what you don't want. And then you have that freedom to choose what you want to do with that, right? What do I want to be? How do I want to feel? So think about what you want to get out of the trap with, out of the drama triangle with during this challenge. What's the person, place, the thing, the subject? What aspects are you taking through this challenge? And accept that contrast. Only until I could accept that my mom always thinks she's right? And there's that drama too. Always leads back into the drama triangle. My mom very often thinks she's right. And I accept that. She needs to be right for her own psyche, for her own needs to be met. She needs to be right. That's the contrast. I can keep pushing against that and try to change her, try to rescue her, fix her, play a victim to that. I could keep pushing against it, or I could go, okay, so she thinks she's always right. I could look at the fact that sometimes I am. I don't need to be right. I want to be aligned. It's like I said yesterday, do you want to be right or you want to be happy? I choose to be happy. I choose to be free, right? So what do you want to be in this situation? What kind of person do you want to be? What kind of circuit do you want to keep fighting against, or do you want to be free? How do you want to show up? What does that version look like and feel like? Because I'll tell you, I can go and have an interaction with my mom and she has an opinion of something. Well, you shouldn't allow your kid to do that. Okay, that's an interesting perspective. No, it's not a perspective. You shouldn't allow him to do that. Okay, I hear you. Duly noted. I hear your opinion. And then I don't have to say, well, I'm going to do it anyway, or I'm going to let him do it anyway. I just go, okay, I hear you. And then I do what I want because I am free to choose, right? So remember our language, take your contrast and make a choiceful, powerful decision of who you want to be. So really quick before I know I'm a couple minutes over today. If you choose to join the Energy Vortex, which again, it's christywhitman.com/vortex, as an Ascend member, you receive today's Feeling Free Quantum Light Shift, which allows you to receive the process for today for the quantum, the Quantum Light Shift. And you get the 30-day program From Drama to Love and many, many, many other features of all levels. The Drama to Love takes each and every concept inside of the drama triangle and helps you see a different way of being. It helps you free. And it includes also the quarterly Q&As that we have that's coming up in August. And the current Ascend members, by the way, you'll have access to the From Drama to Love right away after the challenge. And anyone who is an Ascend member or who joins for this month by the end of the challenge, which is July 23rd in a couple of days, you're going to be entered into a drawing for complimentary access to the 30 Days of Meditation series on loving and supportive relationships. So we're going to be doing that drawing on Monday, July 24th. So anybody that's already a Ascend member, if you've joined a couple months ago, or if you join before July 23rd, your name is going to get entered and you can win. It's a $297 value for the monthly meditation. So thank you all. I know we're a couple of minutes over today. See you tomorrow for day 6.